I've been walking these roads under stars and the rain, asking questions that circle,
Welcome back to
yet
Vibe
come
Podcast.
back the
Today we're
same.
discussing the
Every
unidentified woman of
story
Prato,
I
a
hear
topic
holds a
researched for us
flicker
by
of
David
you,
Morgan.
but it
I'm joined by
falters
Charles
as
and Angela.
Good day, Alice. Charles here, from my quiet corner of Tuscany. As a criminology expert, these enduring mysteries, particularly those on my doorstep, always capture my attention. I hope to shed some light on the investigative angles.
Hey everyone, Angela here, super excited to dive into this one. As someone who's always fascinated by true crime and unsolved cases, especially those with so many unusual clues, I can't wait to hear what we uncover.
Excellent. Let's start with the basics. On November 13, 2007, in a picturesque region of Tuscany, near Prato, the body of an unidentified woman was found suspended from an olive tree. This immediately became known as the Prato Jane Doe. Angela, the text highlights a rather peculiar collection of items found with her. What caught your eye?
Oh, absolutely. The list of items is just wild, right? Newspaper clippings, handwritten notes with Danish errors, a map, conference folders, and get this, a letter with the official letterhead of the Danish royal family. And the shoes? They were reportedly only available in Poland at that time. It's like a spy novel, honestly. Who was this woman, and how did she end up with such a disparate collection of clues?
Indeed, Angela, from an investigative standpoint, this eclectic mix immediately complicates matters. While each item is a potential lead, their very dissimilarity makes it difficult to narrow down a consistent narrative for the deceased. A letter from royalty, Polish shoes, and conference materials suggesting a professional interest. It speaks of a life with international connections, certainly, but also presents a considerable challenge in terms of pinpointing a specific identity or a singular motive. The lack of immediate local connection is often the first, and most significant, hurdle in such cases.
It truly sounds like a puzzle. Now, while this case itself hasn't seen a direct resolution, the broader field of cold case investigations for unidentified individuals has had some significant breakthroughs recently. Charles, could you touch on these developments?
Certainly, Alice, we've seen a notable shift. Interpol, for example, launched Operation Identify Me in May 2023, specifically targeting 22 unidentified women across Western Europe. While the Prato case falls outside its exact parameters.
Oh, I love hearing about the DNA Doe project. It gives you so much hope that even decades-old cases can get solved. Speaking of online communities, that's where the most compelling theory about the Prato Jane Doe seems to have originated, the possible link to Maria Warmuzik.
Ah yes, the online discussions. Angela, tell us more about the Maria Warmuzik theory and how it connects with the clues.
So, Maria Warmuzik was a Polish woman who disappeared in 2004. She was reportedly the personal secretary of the future Polish president, Lech Kaczynski, and was described as educated and eloquent. Crucially, her phone apparently logged in Italy a few days after her disappearance. Combine that with the Prato Jane Doe wearing shoes that were exclusively sold in Poland at the time, and it makes a really strong argument for her being Maria. It could also potentially explain why she might have a letter from the Danish royal family if she had connections through her high-ranking position.
It is a compelling theory, Angela, and one that certainly warrants thorough investigation. The confluence of the Polish exclusive footwear and the phone activity in Italy shortly after Ms. Warmuzik's disappearance creates a powerful circumstantial link. Law enforcement, as the text indicates, did investigate this connection, albeit without immediate results. However, with modern DNA techniques, a renewed focus on this specific lead could be far more fruitful. It's an example of how public engagement can genuinely inform and revitalize cold case efforts.
That Polish connection is very strong. Let's move to another intriguing lead. The potential connection to a laser technology conference in Florence around the time of her death in November 2007. Charles, the text mentions a psychologist who reportedly saw a woman matching her description.
Yes, Dr. Pellegali from San Marino reportedly recalled seeing a woman matching the deceased's description at a conference in Florence, specifically at Villa Viviani, in September 2007. This woman was observed discussing scientific publications and asking questions about computer science applied to laser technology. This strongly suggests she was involved in that field professionally. There were several laser-related conferences in Florence around that time, such as Flare 2007. The challenge, however, is the lack of publicly available attendee lists for these events from so long ago, which would be crucial for confirming her presence. It's a prime example of how vital detailed records are.
And that conference lead, combined with the Danish royal family letter, also brings up another online theory, the Henrik Ice lead. Supposedly, an online search for Henrik Ice reveals a doctor in Malov, Denmark, who specializes in laser dermatological surgery. If she was into laser tech, and there's a Danish connection, that seems like it could be a really significant person to track down.
A laser dermatologist in Denmark. That's a very specific connection. Charles, what about that letter from the Danish royal family? How significant is that in deciphering her background?
That letter, Alice, is arguably one of the most distinctive pieces of evidence. The official letterhead strongly suggests genuine correspondence from the royal household. Royal families typically send replies to well-wishes, condolences, or in connection with official functions or awards, such as royal orders for distinguished service. If the letter were dated near her death, it could provide a timeline or context. It moves beyond mere memorabilia and points to a direct interaction, implying a personal or professional link to Denmark. Determining the date and the specific nature of this correspondence would be a vital step.
The plot thickens with every detail. Now, in 2007, when this case first emerged, how effective were international databases in identifying someone like the Prato Jane Doe, who clearly had foreign connections? Charles, as a criminology expert, what were the challenges then compared to now?
A truly salient point, Alice. In 2007, while Interpol had its DNA gateway and yellow notices were operational, the capabilities for international identification were far less sophisticated than today. National DNA databases existed, like the UK's NDNAD, but they primarily held profiles of convicted offenders. Crucially, automated cross-border DNA exchange between EU member states, facilitated by the Prum Convention, was only adopted in 2008, so it wasn't fully in place for this case. Even more critically, the dedicated global database for international DNA kinship matching, iFamilia, wasn't launched until 2021. This meant that identifying someone purely from familial DNA without a direct match in a criminal database or a reported missing persons profile was immensely difficult. Investigators were largely reliant on manual cross-referencing and less integrated systems, which significantly hampered efforts to identify individuals without immediate local ties.
That really puts into perspective why this case has remained unsolved for so long. It makes you wonder how many other cases from that era might still be out there just because the technology wasn't advanced enough yet. But going back to the online communities, beyond the Maria War music theory, are there any other interesting insights or leads people have discussed?
Indeed, Angela, the online communities have certainly been prolific. What else has come up?
Well, besides the war music link, which really feels like the strongest one, some people have speculated she might have worked for the Danish royal household, maybe in a domestic role. That could explain the letter. Others suggested she might have suffered from mental illness and developed an obsession with the royal family, meaning the letter could be a standard fan mail reply. There's even a mention of a possible connection to a German company called Venetic. And, of course, the archives of the Italian TV program, Chi l'ha visto, are a suggested resource, which is like Italy's equivalent of an unsolved mysteries show. It's amazing how many ideas people come up with.
Angela's right. The Chi l'ha visto archives would be a primary resource. It's a long-running program, and they often delve deep into these cases, potentially uncovering details or witness accounts that weren't widely publicized internationally. As for the official Italian investigation, the text suggests DNA was collected in 2008 for comparison against Northern European and Canadian databases, implying a foreign origin was quickly suspected. They also apparently investigated the Maria Warmuzek lead, but without immediate success. The Italian state police would have been the primary agencies involved. Re-engaging with these authorities, perhaps sharing these consolidated findings, could provide a fresh perspective.
So, bringing all these threads together, Charles, what are the most promising avenues for future investigation given what we've discussed and the advancements in forensic science?
I believe the most promising path forward lies in a multi-pronged approach, leveraging modern capabilities. Firstly, the Maria Warmozek lead, with the Polish shoe evidence and phone activity, demands prioritization and a thorough DNA comparison. Secondly, securing those elusive conference attendee lists from Florence in 2007, especially for Flair 2007, could yield crucial names. Then, a diligent investigation into Henrik Eyes in Malev, Denmark, confirming his specialization and activities around 2007, is vital given the Danish and laser connections. And of course, making polite contact with the Danish royal family regarding the letter, providing any known details of the deceased.
And, Alice, on top of that, we absolutely have to re-examine that specific Polish shoe brand to confirm its distribution. Plus, given the DNA collected in 2008, it's imperative to run it through all current international DNA databases, including Interpol's enhanced systems, and definitely explore modern genetic genealogy techniques. That's where the real power is now. It's about combining every clue, old and new, and not giving up hope.
It truly is a compelling case with many interconnected clues. That's all for today. A big thank you to our guest researcher, David Morgan, for providing our topic and our guests, Charles and Angela.
Every story I hear holds a flicker of youth, but it falters and fades when it's missing the truth. For the truth you need proof, for the proof you need truth. Like the river needs stone, like the sky needs the moon. For the truth you need proof, for the proof you need truth. And the answers will come, though they never come.